Hello everyone, this is Sherry at Soul Conscious, and this is going to be our Soul Weather Weekly Forecast, where we're going to pull an oracle card and a few tarot cards, and we're going to get this week's story for what's going to be in the energy this week. So we're just going to see what story wants to come up, what we may be feeling, experiencing throughout this coming week. Please, oh, there we go. So ride the wave. Awesome. I love this. It's got those dolphins riding the wave. So this tells me it's like almost that feeling of going with the flow, just being in the moment, being present, being in the moment, going with the flow of things, just letting things flow however they want to. If you've had places in your life where you have been stuck or feeling stuck, just let things go, let things flow around you. It's easier to go with the current than against the current. And maybe there's places in your life that if you sit and take a minute to think about it, where you might be going against the current of where the universe is trying to push you. So kind of look at those places in your life, whether it be in romance or work or just in your life in general. Just look at all those places where there's resistance, where you're feeling that resistance. Because when you feel that resistance, it's usually there's a reason why that resistance is there. It's usually to tell us that there might be a different way to approach a situation, or that maybe that's not the direction we need to be going right now. There's somewhere else we need to be and some other energy that we need to be in. And I get this, a little bit of tension is what I'm getting for our emoji card for this week is tension. And that makes sense if there's those places in our lives that we're feeling resistance, that we're feeling stuck, where we feel like we can't move forward, and maybe we're trying too hard to make something happen that's not meant for us. We're trying to make something work where the universe is trying to tell us this isn't for you. You need to go somewhere else in a different direction and do something different, whether that be going out and finding new love, or finding a new job, or finding a new place to live. If things aren't working well in your life right now in certain situations, they're worth examining and looking at and seeing, why there's the pushback, why there's the resistance, why things are stagnant and not moving forward in the way that they should. If things aren't, if you're not happy in something, in a situation, there's usually a reason why that's happening. And so it's worth taking a moment to figure that out. And interesting enough, I actually used, I kind of reversed the decks from the way I normally do my main line and the decks I use for clarification, that's fine. I believe that things happen for a reason, and I believe that I think that I'm feeling, since I used the Gilded Tarot for our main core line of reading, I'm going to clarify with the Witch's deck. So instead of the Light Seers, which usually I do the Light Seers and then clarify with the Gilded Tarot, but that's things didn't work out that way, so I'm just flowing with it. That's why I said, ride the wave, go with the flow. Just let things unfold the way that they're meant to unfold in your life, wherever that would be. And I think, this was to show me, kind of to show that example of you just go with it. You just see what happens, let things happen and unfold naturally in your life in the way they want to unfold, and see where it takes you, because you never know where it might lead you and where it might take you. So we have on our main line here as the baseline, we have the Hangman, the Two of Cups, and the Page of Pinnacles. So as this relates to what's coming up, the Two of Cups, it talks about significant relationships. It doesn't, in this context, it's not necessarily, I'm not feeling like it's necessarily depicting like a soulmate connection or something like that, because I think this message is more in a general context. So it's that almost what I feel is like, coming together of the minds. It's like, to me, these two people are looking face to face at each other, and really just evaluating and analyzing each other, looking at each other and seeing each other for who and what they really are. And I see that as that, looking at situations and even people in your life and seeing them for what they truly are, looking into the soul of the situation, the deeper meaning of the situation, really taking that time to look at things and evaluate things in your life and look at, is this right for me? Is this person, is this thing, is this place, is this where I'm meant to be? Is this what's right and best for me? And it makes sense that when you're doing that kind of evaluation and really looking at those types of things in your life, it's going to put us in that hangman energy. Of course it is. And then, once you figure that out, well, then we have that Page of Pentacles that's ready to act and bring that to fruition. And, when we go in and we realize where we need to be or the direction we need to go, it's going to lead to more security for us. And, also with that Page of Pentacles, this is kind of, the card of the student. It's somebody, the apprentice, the person that's trying to learn something new. And so this is a new way of going about things. And we've seen in weeks past that, like, for many of us, we've been closing major cycles in our lives. We've been going through kind of change and transformation in many different aspects of our lives, and that's going to be different for everyone. And because of that, when we have challenges and changes that we face, when we're going through those transformations in our lives, of course, we have to learn a new way of being and a new way of doing things. So it makes perfect sense. But it takes getting in that hangman to get a different perspective on life and to get a different perspective on a direction that you need to go. And then once you have that understanding, you have to figure out how to do that, which is that Page of Pentacles. You have to learn and figure out how you're going to do about that. How you're going to go about making that happen. So, yeah. Funny enough, okay, first card out on that hangman to clarify, the hangman is the Six of Cups. And that makes total perfect sense with what we're saying, because if there's things in your life, you're going to have that moment of nostalgia. You got to look back when you're in the hangman tree. You got to look over the situation and see, look at your life, look at where you've been so that you can put it in context to see where you're going. And that's what we do when we're in that hangman position. We have to evaluate and look over things so that we can gain that new perspective, a different way of doing things than we have in the past. So it makes perfect sense. Can I get one more clarification card? Okay, what's that one? Which is the Queen of Cups. So yeah, it's figuring out what we love, where we want to put our time, attention, love, effort, especially with that Two of Cups being the center, the center card on our main baseline. And it talks about those deep connections and deep relationships that are usually fostered because of a deep love, a deep love for someone or something. And so it makes perfect sense that the Queen of Cups would come out here, because it's evaluating what we love, what we're passionate about, what we love, what do we want to bring our time, energy, and attention to? What do we want to give that to? You know, what do we want to do to bring more love and into our life, you know, to have that, you know, sense of love and peace and compassion in our lives. A lot of cups on this table, so it's a lot of talking about emotions and how we feel about things, you know, at a very deep level. How do things make us feel? You know, not trying to make things happen from, you know, that place of the mind, you know, which can lead us astray sometimes, because, you know, when we are in our minds, sometimes our minds can lead us astray because of fear, because of overthinking, overanalyzing a situation, not seeing the whole picture, you know, not having all the information, and sometimes we don't make the best decisions for ourselves. And you know, this is kind of saying, with all these cups on the table, you know, it's about, what do we feel? What are we feeling? You know, where in our lives are we feeling like uncomfortable? And how do we change that? Especially, you know, especially with the clarification we have on the Two of Cups, I have the Devil and the Page of Swords. So it's, you know, it's saying that, you know, there's things in our lives, aspects in our lives, that are kind of keeping us from moving toward our truth, you know, moving quickly and swiftly toward what we know to be true. There's things that are holding us back. And that's why we're in this Hangman energy, trying to get that new perspective of, you know, how do we ride the wave? How do we go with the flow? How do we move forward, you know, and not get ourselves stalled and stuck in situations that don't serve us, you know, that don't serve our, you know, our passion, our love, our desire, you know, that make us really happy. You know, it's like I said, it's all about those feelings. I love when it's so clear, the message comes through so clearly. And I definitely think it is today. So let's go ahead and get some clarifications on this Page of Pentacles, so we can go ahead and wrap up our forecast for this week. I think this is an awesome message. It makes total sense to me, especially, like I said, you know, we've been coming off of what I've seen in past weeks, you know, ending cycles in our lives and starting new cycles. Many people have been under a lot of anguish, I'm sure, especially with the way the economy is right now, you know, that with COVID and the economy and everything else that's going on, there's been so much stuff going on in the world that we have, you know, everybody's been experiencing their own points of pain and anguish, things that we've had to rethink and re-examine the way we see life, you know, and the way we look at things, and how are we going to move forward in that. And yeah, it's actually pretty perfect. So on this Page of Pentacles, we have the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. So, you know, the Ace of Wands is moving forward in a passionate direction. So I feel like, you know, it's gaining with that Page of Pentacles. It's figuring out, you know, by, you know, looking at the situation, learning from our mistakes, learning from our past mistakes, which is what we're doing in that Hangman energy, learning, you know, looking back on the past, figuring out what we've done wrong or where we've been stuck or stagnant, and figuring out how to move forward, you know. And once we figure that out, of course, once we figure a way forward, we're going to move toward that passionately, because it's going to be what we love, what we want, you know, especially when you're the Hangman energy. We're looking at what represents the Queen of Cups to us. And when the center card, our main card, is the Two of Cups, it's looking for the deeper meaning in things, the deeper connections, the things that are gonna make us feel good, you know. And then, but we also want that stability, you know, being that King of Pentacles, of doing things in a practical way, a practical, balanced way. So it's like, even though we're moving passionately forward or wanting that passionate new beginning or new start, we're doing it in a practical way. We're seeing the way forward, to ride that wave smoothly and effortlessly, because we're going along with the current instead of against the current. And when we move along with the current, we're going to be more abundant and prosperous, and things are going to be more steady and stable in our life, and we're going to be working toward that King of Pinnacles. Because when we're flowing with the current, with the energy around us, and we're in that current and flowing with it, the universe is helping us and providing us with what we need to move forward. So that's why things flow. When you're in that current, things flow so smoothly and effortlessly in your life, and things are easy. When you find that you're feeling that pushback and resistance in your life, that's usually, or when you're stale and stagnant, there's usually something underlying that's holding you back and keeping you back. And that can be either, it can be a limiting thought. It could be a fear that you have. It could be just circumstance of the universe saying, this isn't the direction you're meant to go right now. I need you to go this way instead of that way. There's something better out there that you're not seeing that we do. The universe at large, it orchestrates everything in a giant, if you think of it as a giant spider web where everything's connected. Or even like if you want to think of it in terms of the Matrix, everything and everyone is connected in some way. We're all connected. Our stories are all connected in some way. And so it's saying that, yes, we all have free will, but there is a greater, that greater design, the greater overarching, worldliness of everything, that collective energy pool that we all emerge from. And from that, we're all connected in a way. And because we're all connected and energy is all connected, and that energy has to always find balance. When you find that friction, it just means that something's out of balance. And so the universe is just trying to course correct and say, I need you to get back into balance. Yes, you have free will. You can make whatever choices you want to make, but understand that, there is a greater plan, and that everything needs to be in balance with each other. And I need, the universe is trying to keep the larger balance, everything in balance. So if you're slightly, it's like similar to like a guitar and a chord being slightly off, or when the chord is slightly off, then it doesn't sound right, And so it's finding that harmony. And so the universe is giving you signs and making you feel certain ways to, put things in your life to make you realize where the harmony is for you, but also the harmony and the balance at the larger level, at the universal level. And so if you're getting too far off balance in your life, then the universe puts things into play and into your life to help you come back into balance, so that it can be, so that not only you are at harmony with yourself, but harmony with the greater universe at large and the universal energy pool, so that everything is in balance. So that's something to keep in mind. And I think it's a very, very important lesson or message to understand that everything is energy. Everything comes down to energy, and the universe is always trying to find a way to keep things in balance. Everything is about balance and harmony. Everything is frequency, vibration, energy. These are concepts of math and science that we know. And so when you think about that, think about where you're out of harmony, out of balance in your life. And so riding the wave and riding the current is just bringing yourself back into harmony with your life and with the universe at large. And when you do that, when you're in harmony, everything flows beautifully, like a well orchestrated, stanza of music. I'm not a music person, so probably not the best analogy to use, but, or like a well-oiled machine, when everything is working together and working in harmony, a machine works perfectly. But if one little thing is off, it can throw the whole machine out of whack and it can be down, and it's that kind of a thing. And you don't realize that each one of us actually has a part. We do have a part to play, and we are significant, and our role does matter. Our life matters, and our part in this world, in this play, does matter. We don't realize it, but we do affect so many other things by just living our life day in and day out. Just think about the number of people and experiences you have every day. Every person you come into contact with each and every day, on whatever level, even if that's just through like a text message or a Facebook post, that has an effect on everything, because it just chains out, like I said, think of things like a spider web, it's all connected. Every little thing you do has an effect, a ripple effect, like that butterfly effect. And that's why it's so important to be in the current and to ride that wave and to be in the flow of things, to let things unfold the way they're meant to unfold in your life, and just, not try and push back and be resistant toward things that the universe wants to give you. That is, the universe always wants you, to give you what is for your highest good. It's not out to get you. It's really trying to help you be your most best abundant self. It is there to try and help you. You just have to allow it to help you. And when you do that, your world will change, and it will change magnificently, magnanimously, it in just ways you can't even imagine. So that's an extremely important message, and I'm so glad it came through, because I really hope that people, that see this, they take it to heart, because it is an extremely important message. So that's where I'm going to leave things. I thank you so much if you decided to join me and watch this through to the end. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join me this week. I thank you so much. If you like this, please feel free to hit that like button down there. And of course, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you know when I post things. I try to post a few different things each week. I do at least 3 readings every week. And then I also do, I've been starting to do the monthly overviews for each and every zodiac sign. I just started doing that, and they seem to do really well. So I'm going to keep going with those. And I hope to see you next week or at my next video. So joy, love, and light.